After 7 years of dating, on the day I was kidnapped, Ryan was accompanying his canary for a prenatal checkup. 50 million? Is Lynn worth 50 million? Tell her to stop acting, and come up with a better excuse next time. Stella has a weak heart and can't handle stress. Ryan indifferently hung up the kidnapper's call. That day, I narrowly escaped death and suffered an unexpected miscarriage. On the wedding day, the bride vanished into thin air. Later, Ryan knelt for an entire night, begging just to see me once. But upon seeing the man by my side, Ryan's eyes suddenly turned red. Ryan, this time, I don't want you anymore. Ryan hung up the phone without mercy. It was as if I couldn't hear anything anymore. Shock, terror, and despair surged like a tide. Ryan's indifferent voice seemed to still echo in my ears. My whole body was in pain. In my blurred vision, the kidnapper cursed angrily and persistently dialed back. After several attempts, Ryan finally answered again. Ryan, your wife is in my hands right now, 50 million, not a penny less. Lynn, haven't you acted enough? Ryan's voice was extremely cold. From the other end of the phone came Stella's coquettish and dissatisfied voice. Ryan, the doctor wants to talk to the child's father. If Sister Lynn gets angry later, I'll explain and apologize to her. Ryan's tone became gentle. Okay, I'll be right there. Mentioning a certain name, Ryan's voice turned cold. You don't need to apologize to Lynn, give her a lesson instead. Seeing the situation turning bad, the kidnapper immediately tore off the tape from my face. You stinking bitch, speak up quickly. Ryan, I beg you, save me, I'm pregnant, I'm not acting. Enough, Lynn, if you keep making unreasonable trouble, we might as well not get married. After saying that, Ryan hung up the phone. My heart sank to the bottom, and the string in my mind snapped. I'm pregnant, don't kill me, you want money, right? I'll give it to you. With a slap, a heavy palm struck my face. You stinking bitch, you're going to die anyway, might as well let me have a taste. My head smashed against the nearby table corner, my face covered in blood. Consciousness faded away. In a daze, I recalled past events. My family and the Chung family were neighbors. I had been frail since childhood, and only Ryan was willing to play with me. When I was 10, my mother passed away, and my father married a stepmother. The stepmother found various ways to torment me. Her illegitimate daughter with my father secretly bullied me, and my father pretended not to see and played favorites. It was Ryan who stood up for me time and again. He carried me, who had a fever, to the hospital. When my stepmother deliberately left me in the suburbs, it was Ryan who brought people to find me. When I was bullied by my sister's clique at school, it was Ryan who found me barely alive in the warehouse. After graduating from high school, Ryan and I got together. We had known each other since childhood, dating for 7 years. Ryan was the most vibrant stroke in the first half of my life. But now, everything had changed. Stella was my junior. She came from a poor mountainous area, her family conditions were bad, and her heart disease had dragged on without surgery. In my senior year, when Stella was a freshman, she scratched my car while riding her bike. As soon as I got out of the car, Stella cried saying it wasn't intentional, then her heart disease flared up and she fainted. The surgery fee was about the cost of one of my bags. I paid for Stella's surgery. When I saw her again, it was last year. She was Ryan's intern secretary, ironing his clothes in his office. At that time, Ryan learned about my connection with Stella. He smiled and said, Lynn, there's no one better than you in the world. Ryan held my hand and left the office. That day, he didn't mention Stella again. Stella was my junior in the same department, and I asked Ryan to take care of her more. But unexpectedly, the care extended to the bed. A month ago, I returned from a business trip and on a whim went to Ryan's company. The secretaries tried to block me at every level. I steeled myself and rushed in. Ryan, who once said he would protect me for life, was holding a disheveled Stella, his face stiff, silently not uttering a word. I stood in the office like a fool. That scene was firmly etched in my mind, impossible to forget even now. At the end of that day, Stella fainted from her heart condition. Ryan dressed and rushed out holding her. He left me with one sentence: everything would be discussed when he returned. I smashed Ryan's office like a madwoman, then smashed our home. Tears flowed all night. I couldn't figure out when Ryan had changed. When did he and Stella start? Ryan returned 3 days later. He watched my pain with cold eyes, indifferent as if a stranger, discussing Stella's future with me. Stella and I was an accident, from drinking too much before. She has it tough, I have to take responsibility for her. Lynn, after we marry, I'll cut ties with her. I didn't agree. I wanted to break up and cancel the wedding. Ryan disagreed, and the Sue family opposed even more. Over these years, the Sue family had declined, surviving only on the resources leaked from the Ching family's fingers. My father and stepmother advised me not to be too calculative. Ryan's mom was my mom's best friend back in the day. She tearfully told me that Ryan loved me the most and would break up with Stella. Everyone was trying to convince me. With so many years of feelings between you and Ryan, are you willing to throw it away? You have only a month left until marriage, it's impossible to separate. I muddled through this month in a daze. Ryan hired a nanny to watch me at home, not allowing me to leave. Every item I smashed at home was immediately replaced. Ryan only came back 4 times. Each time, I cried like a madwoman questioning him. Why, we've been together for 7 years, about to get married soon. Ryan, you can't do this. Ryan's voice was as calm as ever. Lynn, I'll marry you, but I can't let her go. To be honest, after so many years, I'm tired of it. I want to break up, get out. Break up? Lynn, can you leave me? After that, the anger, grief, and pain in my body extinguished instantly like being doused by rain. I looked at him, bidding farewell to the Ryan in my memories for the last time. This morning, I unexpectedly had a high fever. The nanny took me to the hospital, where I unexpectedly found out I was pregnant. 5 weeks. It was from that night when Ryan was drunk before. A child conceived under force, I didn't want it. But it couldn't end this way. In my hazy vision, my eyelashes trembled, a chill penetrated from my skin into my bones. I crawled forward, suddenly my foot was yanked back. You stinking bitch, still daring to run. A shadow flashed in front of me, intense pain came from my lower abdomen, I screamed sharply, tears smashing to the ground. The kidnapper kicked once and still wasn't satisfied. As he was about to lift his leg again, he suddenly tilted to the side. I was in so much pain that my consciousness was unclear. In my blurred vision, I was steadily lifted, smelling a reassuring faint woody fragrance. When I opened my eyes again, I didn't expect to see Ethan. Ethan was sitting on the sofa by the bed, pinching his brow, dressed in gray home clothes. When I opened my eyes, he looked over. Awake? My voice was extremely hoarse. Ethan? Ryan, Ethan, and I were all high school classmates, but the two of them had always been at odds. In these 2 years, Ethan had snatched quite a bit of business from Ryan, making them like fire and water. In high school, Ethan and I were in different classes, so I saw him rarely. In these 2 years, I'd only seen him once or twice at banquets. Ethan raised an eyebrow. How does your body feel? I subconsciously touched my belly. The faint pain from my lower abdomen seemed to remind me of that child's disappearance. Ethan was silent for a moment, not speaking. I know, thank you for saving me. Ethan, no need to thank me, this is my home, stay here peacefully. The doctor said you need to rest well. Before I could speak, Ethan added, don't think about leaving yet, do you still want to marry Ryan and go back to that home? I opened my lips and shook my head. Then that's settled, I rarely come back, no one knows you're here. Why are you helping me? Ethan stared at me, suddenly scoffing, because I'm a human being. Ethan turned and left. In the middle of the night, I was awakened by a nightmare, dreaming that Ryan pushed me off a cliff. The room door was pushed open, Ethan furrowed his brows and quickly came in. Had a nightmare? My eyes were filled with fear, looking at Ethan, my gaze vacant, unable to speak. I came out from the study and heard your voice. Go to sleep, it's just a dream, you're safe now. My lips trembled, and I said thank you. Ethan pursed his lips, gave me a faint glance, his tone flat and distant, yet carrying a soothing meaning. Rest well. The next day, I went downstairs. In the villa, only the nanny was there. She gave me a phone and a replacement SIM card, saying Ethan prepared them. I was surprised, not expecting Ethan to prepare so thoroughly. As soon as the phone turned on, my best friend called. Lynn, you finally answered. What's going on with Ryan's Facebook? Who is that woman? Yesterday, Ryan posted on Facebook, a faceless hand-holding photo. Those who didn't know thought it was Lynn. People familiar with Lynn knew clearly that Lynn had a scar on the back of her hand from being scalded by her stepmother. That hand couldn't be Lynn's. I didn't mention yesterday's kidnapping, just briefly said about Ryan's affair. My best friend is a painter, abroad collecting inspirations lately. I'm used to keeping things bottled up and solving them myself, so I hadn't told her. Upon hearing, my best friend cried, I'm coming back right now. I'm fine now, don't delay your own matters. With such a big thing happening to you, I can't not come back. Ryan, that bastard. My eyes heated up, my throat felt sour. After that day, Ethan didn't appear again. I stayed in this house for another day, and when my body felt better, I bid farewell and left. I planned to go to the hospital for another full body checkup. But unexpectedly, I ran into Ryan and Stella at the hospital. Mom, it's not necessary, it's a life. Grace angrily said, now you know about life? You and Lynn aren't married yet, and you've made an illegitimate child, what about her? You're just like your dad. Ryan's voice paused slightly, his tone nonchalant, you don't need to get angry, anyway, Lynn is frail, Stella can give birth and let her raise it. You bastard. Where is Lynn now? Go apologize quickly. Ryan's voice was mocking, how would I know where she is, didn't she complain to you? Stella stood weakly beside Ryan, softly saying, Auntie, I truly like brother Ryan. After the child is born, I won't disturb them. Ryan's face darkened, sinking his voice, shut up. Grace, the child must be aborted. Ryan's brows and eyes were irritable, Mom, don't interfere, this is between Lynn and me. I didn't care about the argument's aftermath and went downstairs to leave. I left the hospital, and the phone rang. It was Ryan's exclusive ringtone. I fumbled to hang up. It rang several times in a row. When getting into the car, I accidentally answered. Finally answered, calm down? The child is innocent anyway, was it necessary to complain to my mom? Wife, stop messing around, obediently wait for me at home. I blinked my dry eyes, Ryan, the thing I regret most in this life is knowing you. The breathing on the other end paused. Ryan sneered, regret? Don't forget, who said they love me the most in this life and would never leave me. My throat felt choked, my voice low and mocking, Ryan, what if I had died last night? Ryan was silent for a long time, his voice cold, acting until you believe it yourself? Hurry home, Aunt Lucy looked for you at the hospital all day yesterday. Suddenly, Ryan laughed, if you want a child, obediently wait for me at home, no need to bribe the doctor. What if I really was pregnant? Ryan reminded, wife, I've always taken precautions. Yesterday morning, after I checked and found out I was pregnant, Aunt Lucy was very happy. I didn't know what to do. While pondering, my steps slowed, and I was grabbed by the kidnapper. Even now, Ryan doesn't believe my words. I recalled the year of the college entrance exam, when I had a high fever for several days. Ryan knelt up 999 temple steps for me, just to seek a peace amulet. He said the monks in the temple all said we were a destined pair, fated by heaven. Without waiting for my reply, Ryan's voice was impatient, if you really mind Stella's child, I'll have her abort it. It has nothing to do with me. Ryan's patience ran out, Lynn, can't we get past this? We can't, never can. Do you know I almost died? Ryan scoffed, there's a limit to making up lies. Ryan's love before was real. The affair was also real. Ryan, get lost. Lynn, I hung up the phone and blocked Ryan. The next day, my best friend and I met at a nearby club. She asked about my future plans. I have assets left by my mother when she passed, no need to stay in Shanghai anymore. Ethan said the kidnapper had been handed to the police, the case was still under investigation, and if it went to trial later, they would contact me. During this time, I wanted to go out of town to relax and booked tomorrow's flight ticket. Lynn, cry if you want, it'll feel better. Who didn't know that before, Lynn was pampered in Ryan's palms. If people didn't believe in love, they believed in Lynn and Ryan. My best friend cursed Ryan harshly, scum, inhuman. When leaving, unexpectedly ran into Ethan. Ethan was tall and superior in appearance, standing out like a crane among chickens, very conspicuous, with a group following behind, seeming to have just finished a dinner party. Yet he walked straight towards me, his face still cold. He stared at me for 2 seconds. Where to? I widened my eyes. Why are you here? Where to? Home. Ethan furrowed his brow. I quickly said, thank you for that day, but I haven't seen you. I'll transfer the phone money to you, I'll scan you. Ethan looked at me again, seeming to smile, unhurriedly took out his phone. Sure, scan me. I thought it was a payment code. Scanning in, it was his homepage. Under Ethan's gaze, I clicked add. Ethan agreed on the spot. What are you doing? Ryan's furious voice came. Stella couldn't keep up, stumbling several times. Ethan blocked in front of me. Ryan, what a coincidence. Ryan's voice turned cold. Ethan, what are you doing? She's not someone you can provoke. Ethan scoffed. Ryan, your eyes are dirty. Everything you see is dirty. I furrowed my brows tightly. Ethan, don't waste words on him. Ryan looked at me incredulously. You're speaking for him? I looked at Ryan with no warmth in my eyes. Otherwise? Ethan smiled, looking at me. Okay, I'll listen to you. Ethan pulled me directly into the car, ordered bodyguards to block Ryan, and had someone send my best friend away. Through the car window, I heard Ryan's voice. Get out. Lynn, get out for me. In the car, Ethan turned his head to look at me. Where to? I transferred money to Ethan. Stop at the roadside ahead. Ethan hooked his lip. Aren't you going home? I shook my head, tugged my lip. There's no home for me here. Were those words just to brush me off? I looked into Ethan's deep eyes, momentarily speechless. I turned away, gripping the phone tightly. Accept the money first. Ethan swiped the screen but didn't accept the money. He sent me to a hotel. Before getting out, he said, if anything, find me. Lynn, we'll meet again. 3 days left until the wedding. But Ryan couldn't contact Lynn. Lynn didn't return to the Sue family, and the Sue family was anxious, running in circles. Ryan had looked for Ethan. Ethan only said he didn't know. The two companies fought fiercely. Ryan had a vague unease in his heart, but it was absolutely impossible. Lynn loved him so much, she couldn't disappear. The home was empty, the couple cups and sculpture ornaments previously smashed by Lynn were all replaced. Aunt Lucy asked several times where Lynn went. Ryan sneered, telling Aunt Lucy not to interfere. Aunt Lucy wanted to explain about Lynn's pregnancy, but no matter what, Ryan was paranoid and wouldn't listen. Aunt Lucy had no way. Ryan went to the bar to drink, getting utterly drunk. A few brothers accompanied him. The atmosphere was cold and awkward. Someone mentioned Lynn and was scolded by Ryan. He ordered that Lynn's name not be mentioned anymore. Eh? Ethan posted on Facebook, getting married? Let me see. Wow, a ring, marrying into which family? Several took out their phones to look. The close one showed Ryan the phone screen. It was a woman's hand, plain white and slender fingers wearing a pink diamond ring. On the back of the hand, there was a faint scar. Ryan focused, instantly darkened his face, and kicked over the low table in front. Ryan, where are you going? Ryan gritted his teeth. Where exactly is Lynn? And no, don't know. This hand couldn't be Lynn's, right? Several chattered that it couldn't be Lynn. Who is Ethan? He's the only son of the Zhou family, highly valued. Lin has been with Ryan for so many years. The Zhou family couldn't possibly let Lin enter. Ryan stared at the photo, suddenly smashing the glass cup. The atmosphere was pin-drop silent, no one dared speak. The sting on his hand pulled back Ryan's thoughts. He steadied his mind, called Ethan, no one answered. He couldn't help panicking inside. Over so many years, Lin had never left him for so long. A week, no news. Ryan drove to Stella's apartment. This house was bought for her by Ryan half a year ago, a large flat in the city center. Stella came out with her 3-month pregnant belly. Before she could speak, Ryan slapped her. Stella's face showed fear, stained with Ryan's blood, trembling voice, "Brother Ryan, what's wrong?" Ryan's face was deathly pale, his expression gloomy like a hellish ghost. He approached Stella. "Did you look for Lin? What did you say to her?" Stella's gaze trembled, tears fell. "Brother Ryan, I didn't look for Sister Lin, I don't know where she went." Ryan stared at her, no warmth in his eyes. Stella held back her fear. "Brother Ryan, your hand is injured, needs bandaging." Ryan let Stella proceed. After bandaging, Stella leaned under him, carefully gauging his expression, pulling down the zipper. Ryan looked up at the ceiling, recalling Lin's face in his mind. He shoved Stella away. The unease in his heart intensified. "Get lost." He stared at the boundless night. Lin loved him so much, she couldn't leave him. On the wedding day, the venue was full of guests. Ryan stood on the stage, always looking towards the door. The lively atmosphere instantly became pin-drop silent. Several from the Qing and Su families had very ugly faces. Ryan's face was even more ashen. At that moment, the door was pushed open. In the distance stood a woman in a wedding dress. Ryan's heart slightly relaxed. But when that woman approached, everyone changed color. This wasn't Lin? The crowd buzzed with discussion. Ryan's face ashen. "Why is it you?" Stella bit her lip, timidly saying, "Brother Ryan, I heard Lin isn't coming, I'm willing to marry you." Grace angrily glared at Stella. "Pull her down for me. Don't touch me. I'm pregnant with the Qing family's child. Brother Ryan, save me." Grace's chest hurt from anger. "You shameless thing, get lost." Ryan ignored Stella, instead sinking his face and continuing to look towards the door. It was long past time. He didn't believe it. He didn't believe Lin really wouldn't come. But at that moment, the audience below all looked at the big screen. It was full of chat records and photos of Stella and Ryan. The video played slowly, enough for everyone to see clearly. Various strange gazes fell on the Qing and Su families. Ryan slowly turned his head. Upon seeing the screen, his whole body chilled. He backhanded Stella a slap. "All of this was sent by you to Lin?" Stella covered her face and screamed. But before she could speak, the video's end was photos plus audio. The person was rescued? What an idiot, can't even handle a woman. Lin being pregnant is a huge threat to me. Video ended. Gasps from below. Ryan's tall figure swayed unsteadily. A boom in his mind. Pregnant? Ryan thought of that night's call. Instantly, his face like Yama, he grabbed Stella's neck. "That day's kidnapping was real, planned by you?" Stella breathed with difficulty, rolling her eyes, "And no." Ryan threw Stella down, striding out. His fingers trembled, persistently dialing Lin's phone. And blood overflowed from under Stella, staining the wedding dress skirt. "During this time I've been staying in Norway. A week has passed since the wedding. Someone took photos and uploaded online, exposing the wealthy family's secrets. I only have contact with my best friend. She said Stella's child was saved, but the Qing family doesn't acknowledge it. Grace has never agreed to let Stella enter. And Ryan is searching the world for me. Before, my social circle was narrow, besides my best friend, no other friends. I thought, as long as I could be with Ryan, it was enough. The planned trips to Norway and Denmark were postponed due to Ryan's work and never happened. Back then, he could tell everyone that Lynn was his whole world. So, whatever he said, I believed. Heaven has treated me fairly well. Discovering these filthy things before the wedding. Under the kidnapping panic, the sadness from Ryan's betrayal and deception was negligible. The grief buried in my heart was cut into many small pieces by me. Throw away a bit each day. Soon it won't hurt. The kidnapping case has follow-up, expected to go to trial in a few days. I prepared to return to the country. Unexpectedly met Ethan on the plane. Why are you here? Ethan, business trip. He stared at me and smiled, so you were in Norway. I tugged my lip, transferred the phone money to him again. Remember to accept. It's just a phone, besides, your photos have already compensated. Before going abroad, I helped Ethan take a set of ring product photos. The Zhou family mainly deals in medical, finance, and jewelry. The original hand model injured her hand. Ethan temporarily called me to take photos. Looking into Ethan's eyes, I almost blurted out why. But in the end, I said nothing, turned my eyes to look out the window. But unexpectedly, reporters were squatting at the airport. They came to shoot Ethan. Ethan had negotiated a big deal in Norway this time. Bodyguards cleared the way. I wore a hat and scarf wrapped tightly. Ethan took me away. Ethan, send you home first. It's fine, I'll get off ahead, I'll call the driver, so as not to delay your time. Ethan looked at me with those deep and calm eyes. Lynn, it won't take much time, don't be polite with me. Don't be polite, Ethan had said many times. Ethan and I still made the hot search. Rumors online that the Zhou family heir returned with a mysterious girlfriend. Someone dug out that the person in the photo was me. The whole net was shocked. My phone messages didn't stop, classmates sent messages seeking confirmation. Then, in less than half an hour, Stella started a live stream, implying I interfered between her and Ryan. Stella started as Ryan's secretary, later transferred abroad as an executive. Her self-media account attracted many fans, videos recording her sweet daily life with her boyfriend, making fans envy the CP. Today in Stella's live, she revealed her pregnant belly, clearly saying her boyfriend is Ryan, and said Ryan's ex-girlfriend entangled him relentlessly, forcing Ryan to reconcile and abort. I was cursed onto the hot search. Then, netizens who knew the inside story started spraying. Big sister, you got it wrong. Lynn paid for your heart surgery, and you turned around to seduce her boyfriend. Ask anyone at C University who doesn't know, they'd been in love for several years, and you wore a wedding dress to the wedding site to force marriage. Shameless, get lost. The live hadn't ended, Stella was cursed overwhelmingly. Finally, under netizens' witness, police came, saying Stella was related to a kidnapping case, directly taking Stella away. I didn't go to my apartment but stayed at a hotel. Ethan got out with me. I can go in myself. Let's go, since I'm here, I'll send you in. At that moment, a figure flashed by. Ryan punched Ethan's face, like a furious lion. The two instantly grappled in a fight. I furrowed my brows tightly. Ryan, you're crazy, stop fighting. Ryan glanced at me, then was punched by Ethan. Ryan incredulously said, Lynn, you're speaking for him? I looked at him expressionlessly. Otherwise? Ryan strode towards me, his ferocious and terrifying face paused upon seeing my expression. He stammered his lips, cautiously saying, during this time, Ryan had slimmed a lot, cheeks sunken, dark circles under eyes, the whole person very disheveled and haggard. Lynn, I know I was wrong. I didn't know about the kidnapping, it's my fault, hit or scold me as you wish, I've cut ties with Stella, I won't contact her anymore. Let's go home, let's get married, okay? Ryan's back slightly bent, red-eyed looking at me. The once proud and arrogant Ryan seemed like he lost a precious treasure, his soul lost. Go home? You're in Stella's home? Ryan, why do you think I'd still be with you? Ryan's face pale. Lynn, I've never brought her back, believe me. Ethan grabbed Ryan's shoulder and pulled back. Ryan, get lost. Ryan roared at Ethan, the one who should get lost is you, why are you interfering? Ryan walked towards me again, tone manic. Lynn, Ethan has ulterior motives, let's go back. I slapped Ryan's face. I used all my strength, his face turned red. Ryan incredulous, you hit me for him? Deja vu. I stared at Ryan, chuckling, when you hit me, you used much more strength. It was a month ago. After discovering Ryan and Stella's affair, I went to the hospital once. Ryan gave me a slap, telling me not to trouble Stella anymore. It was after this that he locked me in the apartment, having the nanny watch me. Ryan trembled all over, his face instantly white. Ryan took a deep breath, rubbed his face, his eyes bloodshot. Lynn, I was wrong, I've already separated from Stella. So what, you're dirty, I don't want you. Ethan hooked his lip, heard that? Get lost. Ryan clenched his fist, glaring angrily. I pulled Ethan behind me, glaring at Ryan, don't go crazy everywhere. Lynn, has he been with you all this time? We've been together for so many years, can he compare? You don't want me, just for him? Ryan's roar echoed in my ears. Outside the hotel, people watched the spectacle. I looked at Ryan, feeling only mockery in my heart. From beginning to end, the one who did wrong is you betrayed our relationship first. You have no right to stand here. I'll tell you what Ethan did. Ryan was disheveled, he suddenly didn't want to hear. He trembled, don't say. If not for him, I'd be dead long ago. Ryan stiffened in place. The long-suppressed anger surged out. Ryan, how much do you hate me? I didn't do anything to Stella. If I died, you'd be happy, right, able to be openly with Stella. If you want to break up, just say it. Ryan as if struck by lightning, his face horrified, lips trembling, unable to say a word. After the wedding day, Ryan investigated and cleared the truth. The kidnapping was real. The miscarriage was real. If not for Ethan, Lynn would have been gone long ago. Ryan refused to leave, fought with Ethan again. Finally, was driven out by Ethan and bodyguards together. Ethan looked at me for a long time, after a while, he said, I hit Ryan. I know, you. Lynn, want to try with me? I was stunned in place, wide-eyed looking at him. Ethan, I'll stay by your side, no matter how long. In my silence, Ethan's eyes gradually reddened. He asked if I still lingered on Ryan. No. I have no relation with Ryan anymore. I pursed my lips, Ethan, you have better choices. Others may be good, but they're not you, besides, you're already the best. I dug into my palm, why me? For a long time. Ethan's voice was light, he smiled, started in high school, but your eyes only had him. No special reason. Like is like. Ethan said to give me time to consider, everything he said and did was serious. 2 days later, the case went to trial. Stella was sentenced to 8 years. Online public opinion was in an uproar. Grace cried saying sorry to me. Asked if I could, for the sake of before, forgive Ryan once more. She said Stella's child accidentally miscarried and was gone, no need for bail, the person was already detained. Also said Ryan already knew he was wrong, he would never commit again. I didn't agree. Grace didn't force any more, asked if I could talk to Ryan, advise him. If this continued, Ryan would probably be ruined. These days, Ryan drank excessively daily, sent to hospital several times, in coma, calling Lynn. I shook my head, Auntie, sorry, I can't get past that in my heart, if not for Ethan, I probably wouldn't be here. Grace cried saying sorry to me. I turned around, saw Ryan emaciated standing not far, eye sockets sunken, extremely haggard. His voice very light, Lynn, sorry. I turned and left, without saying another word to Ryan. Kidnapping case ended, I prepared to leave Shanghai. Father and stepmother found me again, hoping I could forgive Ryan. I didn't see them, planned to meet my best friend once more and leave. During this time, she followed netizens eating melons, dug out the whole process of Stella's miscarriage. After the wedding day, Stella wanted to run with the money but was caught by Ryan. In the dispute, Stella fell, belly hitting the table corner, miscarrying. Ryan also recovered the property, cash, and luxury cars gifted to Stella. Stella plotted for so long, hoped in vain, finally deep in prison. Her parents were both high school teachers. After discovered Stella was their daughter, students boycotted classes. The old couple was forced to transfer to a harsh rural school to teach. Before going abroad, I sent Ethan the last message. Sorry. Understand. 24 hours later, he sent another. If I can see you again, I won't let go. After that, I went to many countries. Past matters forgotten behind me. I didn't expect to meet Ethan in Italy. Lynn, long time no see. Half a year later, Ethan and I prepared to get engaged. The night before engagement, Ryan came drunk to my apartment downstairs. He shouted my name, taken away by arriving bodyguards. Since I moved out of the villa, Ryan was watched by Grace's people, not allowed to run around. Ethan and I returned and saw the scene. Ethan, don't go down. I shook my head. Last chat. Months without seeing, Ryan was thinner than before, like after a serious illness, even sideburns had more white hairs. Lynn, don't get engaged to him. Hit me, okay? Hit as you like, as long as you can vent, I'll do anything. Or I'll chop my leg too. We're a match made in heaven. I can't be without you, Lynn, don't abandon me. You promised me, won't leave me. Ryan's eyes full of bloodshot, face pleading. I came before him, sizing him up. Lynn, is it because I became ugly? I'll recover soon. Ryan raised his hand to touch me. I sidestepped, took a deep breath. I came just to make it clear to you, don't come again. Ryan looked at me, then back at Ethan. You really want to marry him? Who I'm with is my freedom, none of your business. In early spring night, temperature low, I wrapped my coat tightly. Ryan, let's part amicably. Sorry. Ryan cried. That day I was just impulsive. I didn't mean to hit you. I didn't know you were kidnapped. Sorry, Lynn. I turned, walked to Ethan, pulled him upstairs. Behind, Ryan called me one last time. I didn't respond. Back home, Ethan's face tense, glanced at me twice without speaking. I shook Ethan's arm. Ouch, so sour. Ethan gnashed his teeth. If he comes again, I'll definitely beat him. I leaned in Ethan's arms, extended my palm, revealing the ring on my finger. It was the one from the photo. Not made by some designer. He designed it himself, made long ago. The ring being a big seller was also fake. Ethan, thank you. Thank what? Thank you for waiting for me so many years. I did it willingly. Never say thank you to me.